Speaking of locks, what are the main Oracle database locking rules? Well, as I've said, you don't have to worry about read consistency because of the undo table space, and hopefully you've done what you can to optimize the size of that table space. Your selects, your general read queries against data, it doesn't matter if people are in a table making updates, inserts, whatever. Any uncommitted data will not be pulled into those selects. But once a user issues a commit or a rollback, then the locks that that session has are released by Oracle, and then any subsequent selects against that row will include the changes because they've either been committed or they frankly won't include the changes if the active session had done a rollback. Do you see what I'm saying? As I said, Oracle uses granular row-level locks for DML, or data manipulation language statements. Oracle does not escalate locks, so if it's giving a user, a session, some row-level exclusive access locks, it's not going to escalate and say, well, I'm going to preemptively do an X lock on the whole table. It doesn't do that because our whole point, again, I keep repeating this, is to maximize concurrency and maximize data consistency. What's called the session in queue method. In queue is a fancy word. Think of it as a waiting line. You go to see a movie with your family. There's a lot of people standing outside. You queue up, right? You wait in that line, and eventually you get your turn for service. Similarly with sessions. If Oracle has issued a lock that's exclusive to a row and another session wants to gain access to that same row exclusively, well, they're going to be queued up and a situation called a wait takes place. You could also look at it that second session is being blocked from access. That shouldn't be a problem because once the first session commits, that will release the lock and the next session in line steps up to the plate. Now, if the first user goes out to lunch or ends their workday without committing, well, that's a slightly different situation where you as a DBA may be called in to resolve that manually. You see what I'm saying? Also, as a SQL developer, you can pass locking hints into your code as you see at the bottom. The for update clause in select. You can preemptively tell, so to speak, Oracle, hey, I'm running a select right now, but I'm interested in updating this perhaps a little bit later in my code. That's something that's been a part of the structured query language for a long time. You can pass hints for execution plans. You can pass hints for locks. It's nice that we have that ability for sure.